Hey, this is Mike LaRosa, head baseball coach at Widener University, here today with Figure It Out Baseball, talking about the importance of catch play. Throwing progressions and playing and catch play are super important because as players, that's the most reps that they're going to get throughout the course of a year because they do it every single day. Think of every practice. Guys go out, they throw at the beginning of practice, but they might not get ground balls that day, or they might not hit that day, or they might not work on team defense that day, but they are throwing every single day, which is why it's a great opportunity to get better. As coaches, sometimes we kind of fall in the habit of sending our players out to the outfield, go get your arms loose, and we don't really follow them out there and work with them through that time. So we can definitely accomplish a lot if our players understand the importance of throwing progressions and the things that they should be working on, so they're going through it with a purpose. And it's not just get your arms loose, it's, okay, let's work on some things to get better, and while we're doing it, they're also going to get their arms loose. So as we elaborate on the importance of catch play, it really starts with how our guys are holding the ball. So we want to discuss grip with them. As infielders, outfielders, and catchers, we want their throws to be nice and crisp, straight, with carry. And in order to do that, the best way to accomplish that is to get end-over-end rotation on the ball. That starts with grip. I like our guys to get grip over the C of the baseball. If you can see the seams making a nice C there, I get my pointer finger, my middle finger over the top with the creases on the top of my finger on the seam, so I get a nice grip, and my thumb is on the bottom. So what that allows is, once they release, they get that nice end-over-end rotation, which gives their ball carry and keeps it straight. The reason I like the C and not the reverse or not the top of the laces is because it's the best one that you're not going to get movement with the ball. So if we turn the ball over and we got a backwards C and a guy gets outside the ball a little bit, meaning he tilts his wrist a little bit, he's going to get a lot more action, meaning sink, run on his ball than he would the reverse. And it's the same thing with top. It's just sometimes hard to get, this kind of slips out because you have no seam on the bottom of the ball with the thumb. Whereas when you turn it over, notice now I got my thumb on a seam, so I can get a little bit better grip, which is why I like that. I like to teach our players, they can work on this every single day. If they're at home sitting on the couch watching TV, get a glove, get a baseball, throw it in, pull it out, work on getting a grip. What they need to get to is the point where they can feel the ball and they don't need to look at it to get their grip. So as infielders, they come in, they make a play, and a transfer, they might have 2 seconds to get that ball out. And in that 2 seconds, they're getting into the right grip. And that's reps and reps and reps. So I like to practice it like that. If we're in an indoor setting, we have a like a sport court at Widener that we practice indoor. It's got some bounce to it. Guys take a baseball, they can bounce it, they catch it in their bare hand, and they work on getting to the grip. So it's part of our pre-practice routine. Like when guys are just standing around talking, we haven't gotten going yet, they got a baseball, they're bouncing it, and they're all working on getting to grip. The next piece is, once we got them in a good grip, is we want to get on top of the baseball. A lot of people have heard this. I ask at every camp we have with high schoolers, what does it mean to get on top of the baseball? Very few actually understand and know what it means. So what it means is we want to get our fingers on top of the baseball. So I want the fingers on top here, okay? This would be the side, this would be the top. So I want fingers on top, and I want the baseball on top of my wrist. So that should be right over my wrist. This would be fingers outside the baseball, fingers outside the wrist, okay? When we throw from this position, we get a lot of tilt on the ball, which is going to give it some movement and run. We want that for our pitchers. We don't want it for our position players. We want them to keep the ball flat and straight and have more carry. A good way of working on this with guys is just putting a piece of tape right over the top of the ball where you want them gripping it. I like to use electrical tape because it's black, you can see it. You can use gray duct tape. But what we can see is once they release, we can see where that ball is rotating because we can see the revolutions of the tape, whether it's on the side or on top. And that helps give a visual to the guys and us as coaches. We want guys to be able to throw the ball and carry it to their targets. So we want outfielders need to throw the ball 200 feet, 220 feet, 30 feet to a cut man or to a base. The way they can get it there without having to add arm strength is just by grip and getting on top of the baseball, getting a lot of revolutions on the ball. That's going to give it carry, and it's going to allow them to keep the ball straight with all their throws. Again, I'm Mike LaRosa, head baseball coach at Widener University. Just talked about the importance of catch play. Check out our next video. I'm going to be taking it the next step and getting into throwing progressions that you can use daily with your players.